Hello.
We're back.
Ladies and gentlemen, roosters and hens, and everything else in between, Caulk Talk is back after another little hiatus. But as always, from the Coop Collective, I am Tyler at MBF Express, just a little bit rusty. We got Josh at Grateful Coops, who has once again recreated the entire setup. Good job,
Yes.
Josh. He
Yes.
started from scratch, wanted to play Last Survivor, created a brand new computer to do it. Um, We have
Yeah.
Blake at Waddle Waddle Racing. We have BAWK at the BAWK Familia. Gentlemen, oh, how are we doing?
Doing all right.
Waiting.
Waiting is right. Waiting is so right now. Some fun stuff on the horizon. I think we should all be excited for what may come next. But at the moment, not much going on. Only the real sadomasochists are racing right now, like myself.
Yeah, it's pretty grim out there.
I hope that
Right.
with these changes that we get some people that were upset that maybe we're kind of leaving. I hope maybe it kind of wakens up everybody again. So I think the last time that everybody was in maybe hopefully it'd even be better than the last team events that we had, right? When we got some of
Mhm.
those people back.
Yeah.
I hope that with all these changes that the prizes for the next event following this one are really enticing. Maybe it'd be a good idea to do a team event again, bring everybody
Well,
back.
on that note, if we pop over to the roadmap, that is set at the moment for May 17th. It says Team Tournament number 2. We have discussed it a little bit in the council. That's all I can say. So they are planning to do it. They have made some adjustments
Yep.
it was brought up before. So yeah, it'll be hopefully that will be kind of the reintroduction into this new system, and we all get back to being happy and racing again. Because, not to bury the lead here, Dynamic is back this time with MPO and a little bit of a buffer system.
Yeah.
Love it.
Now, do you want to touch? Do you know any insights to this that you could share? Like, as far as, do you guys know anything in the council about the? Like, do you know, like, what are they going to do? Like the same teams? Has this been discussed?
Oh, I can't. For the most part, I can't do to touch much of anything there.
Okay. Okay.
Anything that's been discussed. There's
Okay.
some changes that were made. It was a lot of stuff that was asked for, so that's cool. But for the most part, it's going to be
Okay.
pretty similar to the
Okay.
first event. In its base. So, but yeah, they're hoping for something fun again. That really
Go
gets
Team
the
Ego.
whole. Oh, there's Deli. He's in the chat. It'll be new teams.
New
Oh,
teams.
There it
I
is.
am.
Hey, Deli.
Ooh.
Thanks for stopping by,
Howdy,
bub.
sir.
It's a good thing I didn't really spoil anything there with Deli actually.
Now,
sitting by.
while Deli's on, is there going to be? Are they going to be based off a certain period of time, like maybe like a recent period of time? Like, what are these? Can you give us any insight to what these teams are going to be picked or be based off
Yeah,
of?
I
Deli.
know that, but I don't know if
I
I
mean,
can
that's
say
still a
that.
whole.
I mean, I'm asking
It's
Deli
still like a
since he's.
whole 8 ass days away.
Yeah, but we need to start recruiting these new people to get in. Last time everybody
Hmm.
came in and like
Kind of surprised by it.
midway
Yeah,
through, right? If we can
yeah.
recruit them, we can hit a big pop at the same time that we're doing these big changes as well.
Well,
Start
Ellie,
start
you
telling
gonna
people it's
drop
coming.
a Cock Talk exclusive here? Here's some
We'll be
alpha.
looking at Coop volume
Yeah.
over the past few tournaments to determine the groupings.
there you
Yep,
go.
There we
that's the
go.
basis.
Include the
Everything.
last team tournament, I would say. You know,
Oh,
as
there you go.
well.
And particular
Okay.
attention paid to the previous team tournament. So,
I,
the only thing that the only
you go.
hiccup there, and
Yeah.
I know this is one thing that sadly is coming up. Snorlax is not going to be around for this tournament. He's just going on vacation. He's going to be gone for a while.
mm,
So he's already asked himself to not be part of it. So yeah, maybe we get this out there, and it goes two ways. We get people to be ready to be racing and coming back in. Find out if like the Chicken Club's not going to be around because he kind of carried the Balkers last time. So yeah, just figure out who's ready to race, who's not, kind of thing. So yeah, I'm excited for it. These ones are always fun. Hopefully we see a return to a rake share for the final prizes and
Yeah.
whatnot. And we'll go from there. It was definitely the most fun period of time I think that we've had in the game by and large.
Yeah,
It was really good stuff. It really was.
and
Yeah.
if we can hit that at the same time, I mean, I could see an exciting. I'm excited now. You know,
I mean, what
Yeah,
another
let's
thing?
go.
Going back
Another
to
thing that you
dynamic.
should be excited about are the changes that are coming to the pecking order and
Yeah, that boy,
how
Josh.
classes will be changing up with dynamic returning. And as you can see on the screen here, this is the I believe this is the new pop distribution that will be going, and then there is also the buffer zone. And the
So
results from the poll, actually, I believe it
Yeah.
right here.
This
I
is
can-
huge.
I can sum this up pretty quickly. When we start in the race, every single chicken will start at 20 pop, no matter where it starts. That's where everyone will start. So that first run, you're gonna have a little bit of time. You're gonna have a little bit of time on that first week
Right.
to kind of sort through, see how you want to play it, see how long you want to move through, because 75 pop is the number that gets you promoted, and then 0 is the number that gets you demoted. And then
okay. So
whenever
I actually thought it was 175. Okay.
75, yep. 75 is the number. I know BAWK was saying he thought maybe
Yeah.
100 would have worked better.
100
but,
was my vote, just so it'd be nice and
so
round. A little
what
bit
is
more
that-
one way, but
what does
this
that
is
make
good.
it up?
This is good stuff.
So that makes
So
it
it's 55. So as soon as you enter,
It's
you have
55. So, but you got
55
to
to play
realize
with,
that
yeah.
the pop
Right.
points are changing as well. So first is now getting 10 instead of 15,
Yes.
and 12th is
Yeah.
now getting 5,
right.
and 11th
as
is
we
only
see on
getting
the
But it's
screen
a
there, yep.
so it's a minimum of 5 races up and 4 races down.
pretty much.
Yeah, and very unlikely
Or
that
5 and
happens,
a half.
but that's the idea. Is that and what's also is nice. The part that I still like to see is 4th through 9th isn't a total wash. You are getting a -1
Mhm.
from 4th through 9th, so there's something there
Mhm.
for you when you lose.
See,
Um,
it's the iteration of things coming together over time, right? So we've been playing this game for how long now, and we've tried multiple different ways, and now
Mhm.
we're starting to meld them a little bit together.
And
And for the record, I cried about this 6 months ago. Like I was such a little baby about it. So
Yeah,
like,
we
I
know.
am
We remember.
I know everyone.
I
knows.
remember.
and
I'm so
and
excited
even
though. Like this is very, very big news to
yeah,
my
it's
group,
huge. And you know, there's this it's not always set in stone. So some of these things, like Bach mentioned 100, that's something I could see maybe changing in the future if things don't really, over a couple seasons, if the birds aren't moving maybe how they want it. There's easy tweaks, but I could see this kind of formatting staying for
Right, and I think
that
that's
as a
I
community,
think so.
we need to be open to that too. That's one of the things
Yeah.
I was locked in on dynamic and no locks and everything MPO, like it was like lasers, and I didn't see a lot of the all format talk that I should have saw that, and I should have accepted it better at that time. There were a lot of good ideas that were coming out there too right at the same time. So
yeah,
think
we can all
gotta,
get a
as
little locked
community,
in.
not be laser focused on stuff.
Well, and I
It's
mean,
tough, but
go ahead.
no, Josh.
No.
Okay, fine, I'll take it.
No.
This does seem like that one moment where just about everyone besides Punch Plump, is really happy that this is the thing we're doing right now, that we're actually pushing towards this. It's the most unified we've been in a while, because we want to run these birds. We want to have a little bit more freedom to do so, and this is going to do that. This is when your bird dominates, it'll move up. You can try. Now, the nice thing about this is if you decide to take 10 races to down class while you're in your MPO, then good luck. That might be hard to do. But it could, in theory, you could stay as close into your MPO, or at least within a winning pecking order.
What are you
want
saying?
to.
If I'm trying to understand what you're saying. So you're saying like somebody could, in theory, take their C MPO bird to 0 and then shoot it all the way up. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, if your MPO is C and you have a 0 in C, tough shit. You sit there at 0.
I mean,
you have to
Yeah, but
work
you
your
can
way-
only go up. There's only one way.
right.
So
You only have to work your way all the way
I
up.
don't-
So MPO is still protecting us from the total monsters finding their way down. But
correct
go-
me
go
if
ahead.
I'm wrong. So, and as I understand it, when you say, let's take that seabird example, he bumps up to B.
Mhm.
Okay. and he starts off in B at 20.
Right.
So he would have to take him minimum 4 races to go down back to C, and he would go back to 20.
Yeah.
Or when
Wait,
you
no,
go
doesn't
down,
he start at 50 if he goes down?
Nope. No, 20.
No, check it out. Let's read it as it is right there. So, it says
it's 20. Reset to 20.
Yep.
Whenever a chicken is demoted or promoted, the new pecking order, it's reset to 20. So when you go up, it's 20. And then when you go down, it goes back to 20.
So yeah, if you're up 2 classes, you'd have to go down 40 points.
You would. So that's that. But that's the thing. Any bird that's up 2 classes right now, yeah, it's going to be a little bit annoying to get them back down. But once they're where they should be, you would have to kind of one of 2 things. You would have to either had your bird go on just a ridiculous 2-class heater.
40 points ain't shit though.
Some money. What?
40 points really isn't that much.
No. In the end, 40 points isn't that much compared to what we have to do in some of these 2-week seasons to get down. 40.
So, I mean, like
much.
4 is the most you can get negative right now, and I mean, I feel like within a few races, most of my birds are already at like minus 25 or 30.
Yeah, no, I think there's going to be a little bit more fluidity here, a little bit more control.
Just me?
Yeah,
just my birds. Just my birds.
You're a little hot, Josh. You're a little hot.
Yeah,
maybe, but yeah, that's the nice thing about it. When you get demoted, you actually have some time to spend in your new pecking order, which is nice. The biggest reason we decided to do the 20 was we didn't want this. The only major complaint, if MPO is applied to old dynamic, the only other major complaint was that we had issues running tournaments. As soon as you drop down, you go back up again, and it becomes this. If you're a tweener bird, you're not going to make a lot of money, unless you just sit in a big money race. So now this lets you kind of move up and down a little bit, which is a nice thing.
I think with the max pop being 75, that you kind of have to. I mean, it wouldn't. Even though it kind of makes sense to me that if you get demoted, you should kind of go to a higher. But I think that ideally would be if that max was 100, and then you would go to like 50, on a demotion. And you want a promotion.
My thought was
went to 25.
100 with 20 on each side. So like you were thinking, like you when you drop down, you go to 80. When you come up, you go to 20. But I don't know if this actually really is. I don't think it's a bad
it's workable.
thing,
I think this is workable. I think it's a good start for sure, if anything.
On that note, one of the goals of it is to have it be something that's a little more fluid, where you don't necessarily have to be in your MPO to be successful. Of course, if you are, you probably will be the most successful. But after, it's going to take a minute for these birds to cycle. But hopefully, if nothing else, you simply just see maybe not so much parity on the podiums, but parity within the birds you're racing. Different birds doing different things. People actually downclassing. Because at the moment, the absolute biggest problem with seasons was after a few days, everyone would figure out what are the best birds of the season, and those birds race. And that is basically it. Everyone else was fodder.
Do you guys, and I think the big question overhanging is all along is, how do we entice people to get birds up into A&S, right? Does this add more to those groups, or does it keep things the same, or does it just add more to the dynamic of the birds that we have in our, E through B classes that we, are good racers?
Well, Fusion's fixed a lot of the problems with it's
SMA.
It especially in S. What was that?
Has it actually fixed problems, or has it just made different problems?
Well, when I say fixed problems, it's fixed volume problems. It's fixed the fact that there are actually birds that are racing now in S. We can't. That's the thing about trying to push up into A. Like, you don't want to be in A if your bird can't win there. So the incentives to move up are kind of backwards. I get it. I get what the concept was, but now that we have MPO, there's if you want to sit at the bottom of your MPO, then you can work and you can do that. It's well within the rules. Go right ahead, have fun. Now there isn't that much of we don't really need to incentivize moving up as much anymore, because now everyone is basically where they should be, or they'll move up as they should if they're a winning bird. If that makes sense.
So, just speaking from kind of how I race, right? I don't I don't think you're going to see coops running that don't have birds that can run at their MPO. What I mean by that, if all birds are at their MPO, like season 1 of the MPO reset, no good.
Yeah.
There's no season. It
That's
did
why,
my birds,
that's why we're
my
not
birds
resetting now. Yeah.
But I think if every bird can go back to that MPO and it makes it easier to stay there, that's equivalent to season 1 of the MPO reset most of the time.
I don't think that's the case. I'm a really MPO is like a very loose guideline. I think one of the things with fusion we've seen actually is some of your spices are getting really punished for their MPO. Fused birds are coming in and just destroying.
Some,
but also like you're
right. But if they can
get a hell yeah there.
But if they can keep those at their MPO, right? Those
But when you look at
birds.
we look at the breakdown, it's 10 for a win. So it's still front loaded to gently move people up as we go, and then have it kind of work its way back and forth. Obviously, if we have some other race formats that might come, we'll see how things work there. But in this core running, it is generally an up push with this, and you'll have to work to stay lower.
Didn't get a finish there, Mr. Dozer.
Oh, good.
There's also birds. I've got spicy birds that are running 2 over MPO and still winning.
Yeah,
two classes up over MPO. Jetpacks in particular, but they're winning, and then they're 2 above. So MPO is not like it's not a brick wall of what your bird can do. It's not a dead bottom. It's not a dead top either. Like it
depends on the bird, though. If you have a bird that can win at season 1 of MPO, you're going to have a successful overall bird. If you, especially if you can keep it at its MPO or +1. If you do not have a successful bird of season 1 MPO reset, you had to rely on those birds to move up to the next season and season 2 beyond that. And so if they're all hanging out at the bottom, those coops are not going to run those birds and just feed money to all those good birds. That's just not going to happen.
Well, that's what if that's what's happening right now, that's what the seasons has done to us too, is that they just sit there. So with a fluid dynamic setup, you're just hoping there's just different birds running in these races now, because birds move up when they need to and drop down when they need to.
I like the dynamic
setup.
I like the dynamic setup. My preference would be that it would be harder to move down, easier to move up. So once you move up, it should be hard to move back down to that next level. Not hard, but
if it's too hard, I don't mean to cut you off, but
maybe like 10 to 15 races.
If it's too hard, birds are going to get parked. That happens. That happened before.
But if they know they can get down, they're not going to be parked. They were only parked because it took 2 weeks. They weren't going to sit there and lose for 2 weeks.
No, even before that, I'm saying I was parking birds before seasons because it was so difficult to get them back down through MPO through dynamic pop. Because you would go down the tiers. Remember, it wasn't a changing number every time you moved to a class. It would be you were at you either 75 or 65, or if you got all the way up to 90 or 100. You had to get back down to like 60, 70 to get back into C class. I mean, nope.
and unless you have a dork,
we also didn't have mid. There was no negative on the mid range at all there. So
right.
Any A bird could not even lose a point.
Yeah, no, and that's why I kind of I like this structure here, 1st through 12th, how they're doing that. I think the one tweak that I could see being made in the future is that maximum pop being from 75 to 100, and then when it returns on a demotion, like down, that you get a little bit higher than the one that you're just starting off in.
I think the interesting part is that once we start running this, we're really going to be able to see those things. And I know this is, you're trying not to be a prisoner of the moment, but I don't believe we're going to need another overhaul of the system.
No,
we're just going to need tweaks, like you're saying, as they come through. Yeah, I think in its at its core, there's nothing that I've seen anyone bring up that looks at this system and says there's an obvious exploit in there. Now,
What are
there's
you
still
talking
things you
about?
can.
We need no MPO locked classes.
No, don't you do that. Stop it. No derailing. Um, I'm bulldozing now.
See,
But
I don't
no,
want that because there's some birds that I'd just rather assume they were up class so I could have more fun.
yeah, I get it.
You know what I mean?
No, I think this is a solid system. It's one of the
Mhm.
it's pretty close to what I'd really, really wanted though. Like I love dynamic from the start.
Mhm.
And I think I even warmed up to seasons a bit, but it gets really stale really quick. Same birds every race.
Well, the
So
hardest
I
part,
think we
and
oh, go ahead.
yeah, the hardest part with seasons, and the reason that everyone is basically happy to see them go, is it really turned the game into a penny slots game. You only ran the cheap races. The bigger races basically didn't get touched.
Well,
One win basically shot you straight up. So if you ran, but if you did run one cheap race and you get first place and you make yourself, $3 on it, not even with the entry fee,
I
then
feel
you're already being promoted, and that just stopped people from racing,
I feel
and
like
that's no longer there.
dynamic at its core was fine. We just wanted different type of pop and how it was relegated back in the original dynamic. And here's the thing: people were excited for seasons to come with the locked classes for 2 weeks because of the type of tournaments that were going on and the type of events that
Yeah.
the team was putting together, and it was so difficult to compete because you
Mm-hmm.
only had 25 races and you had to go, if you were racing and you were moving up and down between classes, you're burning half your races declassing back into the class you were trying to compete in. So
Yep.
there was some welcome to the seasons at one point. So I feel for the devs in some sense of them feeling probably like they're
Mhm.
like, well, we're flip-flopping back and forth. But honestly, the growth and the changes and the adaptions that we're making with these new changes that are coming in, I feel like we're getting a little bit of a best of both worlds here. And we'll just see how it goes. We'll just see how it goes, right? And in 6 months, we can pick it apart and fucking complain to the moon all over
Yeah.
again. So,
It's just fun. I had best
but
of both
I
worlds
feel like
ready
best
to
of
come out
both
at some
worlds
point
is
there,
what's
but
is
it's
what
right. Yeah.
we're getting here, and
Yeah.
I like the
It's at least
idea
an
of being-
attempt to
yeah.
find that middle
Well, I
ground
mean,
here. Yeah.
listen, like I said just a little bit ago, it isn't that much to get minus 20 points, right? I
Yeah.
mean, minus 20 points, and if you have birds up 2 classes, I mean, 40 points, you're going to spend $30-$40 a D-class. That's how it should be. Right now, it's like $30-$40 a D-class in one class because you're competing for 2 straight weeks, and the bottom
Yeah.
just
Heaven
keeps
forbid you miss it
dropping.
by 1 or 2 points. and
Yeah,
then
Yeah,
may
oh
not
my
hit it.
God. And then
Like,
that's
yeah.
just like rage quit
Brutal.
right there.
Yeah. And it really and there was and this was one this isn't a huge deal, but there was an issue with the idea that when a season turned over, you have races in queue. And it's like, okay, so
Yeah.
where do those come into play? And it's like that might still
Well-
happen a little bit, but now it's on you. And now it's not the whole system. And we saw some actual logistical issues of like, oh, what's going to count for this and that season and what's going to matter here, all because, things were kind of got screwed up at that deadline. So now Ben F said it. He kind of sees these as your own mini individual seasons. When you get to kind of play with it yourself, that nice little 55 pop window allows you to decide, okay, am I just going to pound these races and shoot up and come down again? Am I going to decide I want to play some down class and some after races? Big money races, we need to get those moving again, but that's a whole nother topic.
Here's the thing, look,
let's talk big money races.
They need to keep using the format like they have in the last few, where it's you race either 200 times and your best 100 are counted, because those types of events are perfect for dynamic and moving up and down. You've got 100 races you can burn, you've got 100 races you can compete. Back before when we were originally starting, it was you had 25 races, 35 races, however many races, that was
eventually plateaued.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's where the need for the locked weeks came in. And then it was just, so as the events have evolved, now so the class structure and seasons need to re-evolve. And now we're getting, I hope, a meld of both. And like I said, as long as they keep sticking to events that you can race X amount of times and X amount of races are counted, I think it'll be fine. But you got to have that number be a certain threshold, right? Like it's got to be more than 25. So you're looking at like
it makes
50,
a little elastic, right? It gives you a little bit of buffer, right?
I think the minimum is 50, right? You have 50 races, your best 25 count. I think that is at least the minimum.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if this is coming in the new team tournament, but I did make the suggestion that we need a higher threshold to put you on a team. One race, 5 races shouldn't qualify you on a team. Anyone can do that with a second account and possibly piggyback into the raffle and whatnot. I was thinking that you should probably have to run at least 20 races for it to count for you to be on that team with your secondary account. At least something there. Yeah, so something there. But yeah, I'm excited. Actually, the team tournament, with you guys talking about it the way you were, the team tournament being the first thing we do during this new system makes a lot of sense because we're going to have hopefully a ton of volume, a lot of birds running, and things are going to get jumbled really quickly. And we want that. We want this thing to just get lottery balled and mixed up as much as possible, as quick as possible, so things can start feeling fluid and a little bit different.
It's crucial that the prizes for the team event are enticing to get these people back. Just because we're having a team event and the pop, it's got to still be enticing with the prizes.
Got to bring back the rate percentage.
Aren't going to outweigh the
percentage,
overall reason why people are here, right? And that's to win prizes.
Yeah, so I think rake percentage, maybe some spread out the winnings a little bit more across different, like the losing teams and whatnot. Just make it so there's a little bit more something, so it's not just like
even though I didn't win, I was kind of fine with how they did it. I kind of liked because if you were on that winning team, if you weren't one of the top contributors, can kind of what was cool to see too is like people were like, I'll split it with the top 20 on our team, and so
the only thing there is that it's the fatigue of wow, look at all this work we did, and I didn't even have a shot at anything, and that kind of sucks. So I get it.
If you did good in that event, you ultimately should have done at least broke even on your racing. So
maybe it all depends.
To a certain extent. I mean, I guess Ben F did pretty good, he said. So I'm just basing it on what.
When doesn't Ben F do good?
So Deli just commented, we're doing rake percentage for the next tournament plus prizes for second and third place teams to encourage more competition for those not at the top.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, okay, there we go. I like that. It spreads it out a little bit. Yeah.
Can I ask one? Are there going to be 4 teams again, or are there going to be more than 4 teams?
So, if I remember correctly, I believe this was a discussion. What Deli just said was actually proposed, and I remember being a part of that discussion weeks ago.
14
right after the first team event, and how I think it was like Daniel. There's a bunch of us that were just throwing all these ideas out here. So I like to see this. The second and third place teams prizing. Love to see that. So
basically don't get last.
Yeah. So if you're last,
don't get last. Like that's just it. Like we've been saying, we need the carrot needs to be dangled.
Don't be last.
Right? The carrot needs to be dangled, and it can't just be dangled to the top. It's got to be dangled for all, so we all still keep rolling.
And that's the coolest thing about these rake percentage tournaments when we can run them, because it's just like, hey, it's all in our hands. If we want big prizes, what we got to do? We got to run. So I think that's exciting. I know that was a big part of what made the team tournament run, but the original team tournament was just a perfect. It was I don't want to say it was a perfect event, but it was a damn near perfect event. It was very well crafted. It was exactly what we needed, and it had really good prizing. And it
was a boost, really, when literally from that event. Like that time of when everybody's come back was literally just for that event.
Well, I mean, the racing spiked.
Huge, tremendously.
So
that's what I'm saying.
Start pushing for that again.
If we can match that again.
With
just
prizes,
there,
man.
plus
Mhm.
the new changes. Hopefully, we can not only bring them back, but keep them back for the next few events, even.
Right. Well, something that'll keep some people back, that's for sure. And we mentioned it earlier. We might as well pivot to it again. Before the show, we were asking, like, what do we think is next? We know what we have here, but what's next? Well, a couple things that could probably be hit quickly. Race formats, new race formats, land. Yes, we want these things, but incentivizing big money races or bigger money races. I actually saw this. Apex was. Well, I gotta check and see where that was. Actually, I think that was in the main chat.
Win
But
reset.
the idea of what was that?
Win
Josh?
reset.
Reset for what?
Like race.
Oh, reset for all the races.
Win
Yeah.
race reset. Damn it.
So yeah, resetting. I do think we need a full revamp on these big money races. Either just swipe them clean, especially with the new season. It just makes sense. Not the new season.
At least all the pre-MPO ones.
Do we have a few minutes to go over the timeline that's coming up? Who did see?
Yeah,
what?
You
Because
calling an audible here?
No, I mean,
We
whatever.
already did that.
we only went to the end. There was a few things on there I think we just kind of glossed over that might be kind of important as far as
ready to race.
we're on the topic of what's next, so
where are you thinking?
This is kind of a good time to show off what does mutants drop?
Oh, that's the mutants are that's the tournament we're in right now.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
those are the wearables.
Okay. See,
right.
But
okay.
Come on, Blake.
But
checking something.
but
is there still to
one,
that
that's
point?
why.
Is there still? Here's some speculation that we can pull our tinfoil hats on. Do you think there's ever room for the airdrop of the other creatures? Remember how that was thrown around?
Man, I don't even know how you do it at this point. It would have to coincide with land, right?
Yeah.
Almost 100%.
I hate to throw that out there, but I mean, like,
I just feel like
that was a real
aliens would be
thing,
cool
right?
with like alien jockeys riding on our birds.
I really
hate to
hate to
pull
think that they actually spent coding on dropping a whole new species into the game without land.
Not yet. I think we're too
That
early
would
for
be
that.
like, are you kidding me?
I just saw that and it was just in my mind when I saw the word drop. I was like, wait, what the hell's that?
I just remembered that.
But dude, you can make your bird a turtle, and like that's cool.
I know. I want
So,
these.
like-
I want these wearables, but I also don't. I mean, volume's really bad, and
Well,
if I race to get the wearables, I'm probably gonna class up, and I don't want to do that.
We did have a slight pivot. The thresholds were brought down for the wearables as we were pacing towards 0 people getting any of the premium wearables. So now it's been dropped down to, I think, was it 100, 150, and 400 in that range. I like it. I mean,
400.
Obviously,
you get
you shouldn't
3
touch
and an uncommon for 500.
Right. And you shouldn't touch Weath prizes. You shouldn't touch land. You shouldn't touch whitelist or anything that's really monetary value in the middle of an event. But wearables, they're wearables. Our chickens wear clothing. Let's make sure we get them in our damn hands. So I don't mind this change in the middle. And
honestly,
people seem pretty happy with it.
I don't mind so much in the future as more people come into this game. We're going to have some like OG wearables, hopefully. So I think as we can, right now they're just we're like hoarding wearables and, but maybe eventually as it's easier to sell on a marketplace, which I've heard is Hockey trying to set up its own marketplace. Is that what I'm hearing?
Okay. This is worth,
I'm going to pivot again. Yeah. How about that?
Real quick. So, I actually had something I was searching for before, and I'll get back to that in a second. But Haku we are in talks. I'm part of the team now. No, Chicken Derby is in talks with Haku. There's something that's being held up right now about the API and making sure everything's set up properly so they can actually make it look like when they do with Zed Run, where you have a comprehensive list of actual stats there. So it's easier to find yourself the chicken you want. And it would bring a lot more eyes to us, because let's meet the Zedders where they are. Let's meet the gamers where they are. Zed's not the only game on Haku.
Did they set up a marketplace for unicorns, or did I misread that?
Yep, the Crypto Unicorns is
so
on there.
they set up their own marketplace for them, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Haku, it's on Haku, yeah. So that main marketplace,
So
obviously OpenSea's there, but the main marketplace for searching the details about each and every one of those unicorns is on Haku.
But you can buy, sell, trade them off Haku as well, right?
Pretty much, yeah. It's all linked in, yeah.
So would it not make sense for them to kind of pivot towards that instead of their current marketplace?
I mean, yeah, and that's the bummer here, is that the sunken cost fallacy. You just have to look at whatever we made with the marketplace and say, okay, it's still there. Maybe we can still do something with it down the line, but going to Haku just makes so much more sense in my mind.
So is Haku going to allow for wearables and assets to be traded and sold as well, or is it just straight chickens? Because again, we're a little bit different than Zed. So I wonder how do they do it with unicorns?
But Crypto Unicorns has all kinds of different shit you can buy too. Yeah.
Do they allow for all of that to move?
Let's not completely diminish the marketplace. We want an onboarding experience for new users. Haku is very Web3. And you know what? Fucking go Web3, but no one really knows what that is. And really, people live in a Web2 or whatever you want to call it world. And the biggest influx of people is not going to be crypto people. Like it's a game, it's a gambling game.
Sure.
And so that marketplace is still going to be valuable. Maybe it's going to fall out of date for a little while, but the whole concept is still valuable for that first time smooth onboarding user.
I agree with that.
Yes, us people,
we still can't buy it with a credit card off of,
but it's not invaluable, and
you can, yeah.
But I just don't think it makes sense for them to put any time and effort into it currently, whenever somebody else can develop it and keep us on par. And again, all kind of what I was getting at is we've got all these wearables and stuff. If they become of any slight value as new people on board, it'd be nice to offload those for $10 and $20 to get some extra racing funds. And now you can kind of build your own little ecosystem, so to speak, with all your value.
We shouldn't
clean something up here in the chat real quick.
Like maybe right now we don't spend the money on it. If I'm like sitting there as the dev director, we're not going to focus money. We're not going to ditch that. We still need that mechanism in the future.
On that note,
valuable.
On all that note, in the chat here, Saul Ross was talking about. It started with Alriad here saying that nope, I was right the first time. Ross said, put the land decor wearables in our marketplace and make Haku for chickens. And then Al said, yeah, the loot boxes and all the other stuff are sold on unicorns still. They still let them do that. So yeah, there's definitely room for this all to work together. But one of the biggest issues for a newbie showing up in this game is that you have to, and this is no diminish on D3 and Chicken Tools. We would be so fucking lost without those guys and everything they've put together. But it's so hard right now for a newbie to show up and have any clue what to buy.
So let me ask you this, onto this point, would it make sense for our devs then to enact it to where you can sell wearable? Does it make sense for them to put that on the marketplace currently, where we can sell and trade?
Not at this point.
Okay. It does. But yeah, dev time, I think I'd rather be used elsewhere.
That should have been
it does. Yeah.
That should have been in the play from the beginning. Wearables, serums, all that should have been marketable on them. Like I don't want to.
Right, but it's not going to be used until then. Everybody's just going to go back to OpenSea or whatever's available for just the chickens. So until we have the extra pieces that we can sell and more importantly trade in a simple format, right?
But the train's missed there, and we got to move forward. We need to start focusing on other things like, you know, it would have been, that's the way I would have done it if I could have dreamed for it. But you know, like dev hours are not cheap, right? So
that's the toughest thing here is just tempering what to do next and where we go next with this. And, you know, just circling back real quick, as far as something a little bit easier we can do is incentivize those big money races. And I never actually found definitively where this was said. So if I'm betraying a confidence, I'm sorry. I don't think I am. I'm pretty sure this was something discussed in the main when it was timers being discussed on big money races. I think Apex came in and said, What about timers on all races? Like
I'd be
every
cool
race
with
has
that.
a timer. I thought, yeah, it's a simple concept. Don't let anything sit there
But what's the
and be
minimum
too
run?
stale,
Would you
right?
would you, I would like to see a minimum of 6. So if when it
Well,
reaches
we ran
6,
a poll on that, and most people wanted at least 8. And that's the thing we were getting at. BAWK, I'm with you. If we want one-on-ones, we were talking about this before. If we
Mhm.
want one-on-ones, eventually you should be able to sign up for a
Yeah,
one-on-one. I'm taking you under $50, me
yeah.
versus you. But if you enter a race with the idea that you were going to possibly make a certain amount of money, then it should resemble something of it. And I think 8 was where the community was set on, at least 8 to run it. Anything else just gets scrubbed and refunded. We start over.
After what time?
The big money
Whatever.
races, if we were thinking a week,
Week,
But
yeah.
what about the if he as you said it
A
was
week.
Apex was saying that we would put it on every maybe potentially every race. So like what time frame would you put?
not sure yet. I haven't given that a
Like
thought
what,
yet.
an
On the smaller
hour?
races, I
Would
don't
an
know.
hour make sense? Was that too short? I mean,
Probably
obviously
too short.
That's
probably
too
just
short. I was
yeah.
thinking like
But here's the deal: people are sitting back
48
thinking that
hours.
even if some people are like
What if
got
they
their
were tiered? Sorry.
I was thinking like even if some people are sitting there maybe kind of half racing, they're looking for their specialized race to pop up. If it's cycling through,
Mhm.
and does that keep people from entering because they know there's another race about to pop up?
Well,
See,
it's twofold there. You know, the
Yeah.
DGen. Well, Bach and I can speak from DGens. So can Josh at this point, really. But when you see, ooh, I can get $5. I can get some $5 action here in the next 20 minutes. Okay, I'm in. You know, I don't love this bird here, but $5, I'll do it. So like, it's a bit of both. As long as we have enough of those people that want to gamble. The thing that blows my freaking mind every time is some of these big money races, these $50 races, have birds with less than 10 races sitting in them.
Yeah.
And then those
Gangster.
coops never came back. They put $50 in that still hasn't ran, and they were like, "Screw this! I didn't. $50 just sits there dead forever." And people,
So I'm not saying
they're
that,
nuts out there that want to gamble.
I'm not saying they all need to run 1v1 if no one enters, but I
Mhm.
think that it puts the action in play, and it all comes down to I think I posted in our chat between us of what Benef had posted of all the different race formats. Program all those in there. You make it so you can see it. But if there's a $50 race out there that's gonna run tonight at 9 o'clock,
Mhm.
and it don't matter as long as there's 2 people in there, it's running. I'm business. Let's get on Coinbase. Let's onboard that $50, move it over across, and I'm
I think we
fucking
got
entering.
I think there's
Like,
enough
that's
people
fun.
in this community already that want to do that. Let alone how that can bring in, and that's how you
Remember
entice
though,
people.
the ones that are here right now are the DJs for the most part.
Yeah.
The ones that are here. So when we think about things, we kind of need to think about how do you keep people around. And again, that's action is one way, right? But also
It's-
winning, right? If they
It's
don't,
like
Josh,
if they're not
20
on that
different
note-
race patterns though. Like it's like top 6, bottom 6. It all hits the ARG, and you're like,
sure,
I want to
Yeah.
freaking enter that. Oh,
I'm
I'm
all
hitting
for that.
button. That's
So-
top 6. I'm doing top
so-
6.
How do we keep people here? I'm just going to say one thing to Josh. We'll get his reaction. Chasing payments.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good times.
So this is where I'm getting at. Is
Bad
that
times.
There were good and bad times. Yes.
Martingales.
For Martingales, yes. For the DGens, we were nutbags, and when we had a good pot in our gambling sites, there would be some college basketball nights where we would drop way too much money on games, way too much money, and it was more than $50. It was more than $100.
Some
It was
nights
more than
it was
200,
awesome.
$300 sometimes.
Some nights it was pain.
Yeah, but with sports gambling, you know you're getting it, the outcome at the end of the night, guaranteed.
Mhm.
That is what the gambler needs. They don't
Mhm.
want to put their money in and wait. So as
Mhm.
long, I would even love to see like, 12-hour window on this big money race. Who's ready? Advertise it. Put it on Twitter. Come in. You want a $500 race or a running one tonight
But
if you've got the money
it
to do
can't
it.
be
Yeah.
constant refunds, is what I'm trying to say. If it's if you enter that big race and it refunds at 12 hours, and then the next day you do it again and it refunds at 12 hours, screw all that. If that thing runs,
Oh yeah, okay.
like it
Just for clear,
just has to be specified up front.
Yeah.
This is why
this is what we're doing.
Yes.
I almost
We
think
are
6 would
planning.
be better than 8, because I think
What's it matter then, though?
As long as you say
Like,
it, as long as it's known
as
beforehand,
long as
yeah,
it's there.
that's it.
yeah.
As
We're
long as
fucking
you're
gambling
aware.
money here, boys. Get up.
I agree. As long as it's something that that's I've said this for fucking ever, and I know we've all said this. As long as we know the parameters walking in, we got it. Like, we get it. I know walking into any race, I got a 1 in 12, some semblance of a 1 in 12 here. I know it's not a sure thing. Okay, so let's go. As long as we know the parameters beforehand, we'll be down to do it. And the timers just seem like a no-brainer.
Love it.
To get those things moving.
Yeah.
But get just 86 all those damn races out there now, and let's kick this off with a bang.
Yeah, don't even put the option out there to run them. Just
kill it. Like it.
Just get them
So
out.
Races, but
so we pretty much think that
Mostly I
different
just
race
want my
choices should be next. I mean, I think that's pretty how that is. We all have our own different ideas, but I think the feel is that different types of races should be next. And
yeah, after incentivizing these larger money races to move, because I think that's a quick one. I think that's easy to do in theory. Then yeah, it's after that it is finding a way to add in these extra formats.
I think this is a straight parlay into stadiums and into land.
It is, yeah. It's right there.
It is
yeah,
an absolute glide. We get these alt formats. You add a location, which is your stadium, and maybe the first locations are 6, top 6 location. That's the location name. But they can categorize those down, and then we have those different formats by location. That is stadiums. We load those into the ARG. You categorize it out. Boom. Mm-hmm. We've got those.
Well,
and then the UI comes behind.
It would have to be evenly split amongst trains and just you couldn't just do it by location unless it's evenly split.
No, not location like you're thinking. It's another categorization of the races. So we have the mountain of 1 versus 1.
But what it is, it's still on 100 sand or 100 road or 100.
It's random.
So
no. It's another layer above what you already see.
So Ross with the hot take in the chat. Tournament prizing should be flatter and help the masses recoup the Weathburn grind thoughts. So I had this thought earlier in the show, but I haven't been able to spit it out. That if there was another team event, that the prizing should be tiered out as a volume thing. So it's based off of the amount of races you ran. So the percentage you get is X. So like if you guys like that get 5,000 points, right? Mm-hmm. And you're maxed out, then you get the percentage that is maxed out, and then it tiers down, right? So you got to hit so many points to get a percentage of the cut, and maybe it's $5, but it's something, right? But it's still tiered out, right?
People like to get something, that's for sure.
And that way it would be free. It would be fair. You know what I mean? So everyone, if you want to earn more, you got to earn your keep, right? So, and that's just dependent on teams being distributed evenly, and
that'll always be the toughest part of that,
right? One, and what the prize pool is. So,
yeah, I don't mind it. I definitely like what the other was saying. I like the fact that second and third place teams are going to get a little bit more of a chance to earn something back. The thing that I keep seeing people say is that it's hard to keep running birds and losing. And yeah, we get it. Although it's a zero-sum game, we are here to gamble and go nuts. But as our dog pointed out forever ago in the chat, if you just run the cheapest races, the rake is going to kill you. You're not going to make money over time. You do need to enter the $1, the $2, the $3, the $5 races from here and there when you have some confidence, because that's where you can actually be a little bit more profitable.
That's been killing me lately. Just grinding on those.
They just don't run.
Bottom end. It's the only thing.
They just don't run. Dynamics should bring that back. It should make people feel a little more comfortable to get themselves into those races. Because we didn't have all the time, but it was better than now. It was certainly better than now as far as those higher dollar races. And not to mention, make sure in the tournaments that you can incentivize running some higher dollar races, you could even tier that out if you wanted to. We need to that's how you actually can create something organic on Twitter, is when you show people there's a chance to make some money here, even if it's not a good chance.
I mean, I've tried to say it like 4 times, Wham.
You got to assert it. Wham said, "Are we going to live race, or is it a bait and switch?"
Oh,
I want it to be a bait
Wham
and
wants to
switch
take
on
some
you.
money.
I want it to be a bait and switch on you.
I've just been entering
All right.
races,
All right, Josh. I think for the most part we're talking circles now. We could talk a lot more about
Definitely.
shit, but good, Josh.
stuff,
Call out
though.
some races. Let's get in some races. Why not?
There's a 180 sand in B.
Oh, I should be paying attention to that.
180
And I'm
sand in
not.
B, 5 of 12.
180 sand in B. I'll be filling that. I've probably missed a few since we've been playing here. Rafter walking. Whoever you are, rafter walking. If you are punch plump, I would like to punch you right in the face with your damn bird that just enter every single race. Although winning first place in this is only another raffle, but still I'm right there at second place, trying to chase down rafter walking again.
Let's see here. 200 sand in C.
200 sand in C. That's a 93 center. That's a good one we can get in as well. Let's see if there's
looking
anything
for ones that are like half full.
half full. Yeah. Let's see if is there anything not higher dollar, but that are on that verge that we can push through here to get a couple going. I'm spinning on a wheel now, so I gotta wait and see. Come on.
I'm YOLOing on a $1.60 race to cycle it through in D.
How many are there?
It was 11 of 12. It was
okay.
a $1.90 race or whatever.
Attaboy. Let's just go to capacity here and see what we got. All right.
100 snow, freshie. It's up to you.
Those are all the S classes. I don't want S. I mean, I'm sure some of us have S birds now, but
I'm sure.
I do not.
I missed on all mine.
I'm completely locked out of S now. No, nothing there. All right, let's just shoot back to E class. I'm surprised E class has been down a little bit, but
so it's the B 180 sand and the C 200 sand. Mum's Marathon in B class, Desert Dance in C class.
All right, in D class, let's go with the 140 Rock. 140 Rock. That's in Turkey. That's 7 of 12 now. We can knock that one out. I don't even have a bird for that, but I'll put you in there. Why not? We should actually see if these are actually filling right now. It'd be a weird feeling to actually see races quickly filling just because we're calling them out, because everything is falling off at the moment. But
Deli says free wearables to everyone who beats me here.
Oh shit!
Oh, what's the race?
Well, yeah, call out the race, Dylan.
Where is it?
To which race, Deli? Oh, is it the 140 Rock? I see chick with a big name in here.
Oh shit!
Answer.
Which one did you see it? Okay, I'll just look through.
It's the time trail, I believe.
Oh no!
In D?
No.
I mean, that's where I see his chicken. The one you just called out, the 140 Rock and D. Yeah, that's what he said.
Okay, 140 Rock and D. It's sitting there. You're right.
Time trail, Denzel, Turkey.
I'm not gonna get in.
It's 10 of 12.
Oh shit!
10 of 12. All right, the sand race is going off here soon.
Yeah, I'm not gonna double that up.
Looks like the rock
anybody
race
in the
is coming off here soon.
I should say anyone in the chat wants to call out some races, you can go ahead. But I know what'll happen.
Yeah, Wham will try and assert his dominance.
All the Harry Bolt races will get called out unless he's in the wrong class.
If it has James Plain and Road, I will say nah.
And Road. It's a good point. No more road for
That's
you
Harry
ever.
Bolt's life right there, right?
It is,
Road.
yeah. Yep. That's the white-beaked Dorking loves the road.
All right, this is the 180 sand going
C100
off. Chicken
track.
Pult.
Okay. C100 track. That got called out by my sister. Let's see what's there. What is that one? Okay, C100 track. That's a 93 center. Okay, C100 track. I'm getting that one too. What the hell can I put in there?
Am I in that, Tyler?
You are not in that one.
Damn it. Make me get
C100 track. All right, I'll do this.
Get out of the
donkey.
race just so I can hurry up and try and get in it. Oh, it's only 4 of 12? You could have told me that.
Yep, we got some room on that one to actually put in. So C1 at the Kingston, Jamaica 100 C100 track.
Is it the C180 sand that's running right now, Ross? Or did another one pop up?
Let's see. Yep, the B180 sand is running right now.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm running. My bad.
Yep.
So this is the... Oh, yeah, whatever. I need my tunes.
I'm not looking at it. Yeah, where's the tune? Oh, there's a Devo. Devo all the way from the back. I can't make that any bigger. I wish I could.
Oh, I wish that was my Devo. Yeah, the boys with the fused lizard Devo.
Oh, he does. I think he just fused that one too. I think that's a brand new
870.
fuse
That
for him.
seems pretty fresh. Holy dying.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's gonna Devo again. So we'll see here.
It tends to do that when it's sitting there.
El Diablo. Who's this dig coming out of here? Babs, you can just get right back there.
Babs. You can hear it in your voice.
Get
Come
out
on,
of
Limelight,
here.
you dick. Let's go. Finish at the end. Oh, he is.
Diablo. Keep it.
Oh, he's
keep
trying.
pacing.
Let's go, Limelight. He's doing it. It's my race. It's
No.
mine. No, it's second. No.
Oh, damn. Yeah, you got it.
That bird cannot be stopped on sand. Yeah. Suck it, Wham. None for you.
Did I at least get third?
I don't know. Maybe.
Diablo.
Attaboy. Ugh.
Oh. Yeah, we froze.
That was a bad teleport.
We froze for a second.
Oh, was it back?
I don't know.
Let me see.
Yeah, it's right on mine.
Checking to see if we're back.
We're back. All right. And we're back. My OBS disconnected, it said.
No. Okay, we are back. Okay.
New things. We got
No chicken with the big name.
Yeah, where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at?
Where is that?
Royal
big
Disaster
chicken?
with moving walkway coming
Oh,
in
that
60
bird's been
meters
good.
ago.
That bird's been obnoxious.
He's got
Chicken
Yeah,
with a big
tinfoil hat.
name. Chicken with a big names. They got this striped manic mint back here. Meanwhile, my
Okay, stay back
translucent hanging in there.
Stay back there. We don't want you.
No. Al.
Well, there he goes.
Looks like everybody but me is gonna beat Deli's bird because of
Nothing
course.
for you,
Elite
Josh.
club.
Oh, he's trying. No.
No.
You know, I've been harassing Deli on the side to try to get him to
Son
join
of a-
one of our Coop Collective events.
Actually get in on one?
Yeah, I've been harassing him. I mean,
That's all
someone's
you
got
can
to beat
do
Wham,
is harass.
right?
Harass some more. All right.
Chicken
So that was
Club
pretty.
with a double podium and Ronald's Racers. Everybody but me and another bird beaten. Oh no!
So yeah, Chicken
with
Club,
a big
Ronald's
name
Racers,
got ninth.
Ross,
So looks
Taco
like
Truck, Real Dev, myself, Taco Truck again, getting some wearables, and nothing for you. Rafter walking. Get out of here.
yeah.
As I realize he definitely did run a bunch of races in between, so now he has a big lead on me, so I'm screwed again. But yeah, big shout out to Deli for throwing that out there. That's pretty cool. I like to be able to get some more wearables out to those of us that are hanging around here racing a little bit. The 200 Sand C should be ready to go now. It looks like that. Are we watching already?
Deli says, well done, 1st through 8th. Wearables will be sent out with the others after the season ends.
Sounds good. Go.
Wham is just throwing out every single race that he's looking at, like Brick Tamlin.
No one has A-Birds. Well, I don't right now. All my A-Birds are not A-Birds. Rebel Scum's not an A right now. I'm sorry.
Key Bird in A class actually got a win.
I saw that. You're Cherry.
Yeah.
You're not a Rama.
My random bird. He's such a
There's
dick.
Sandman out front. That's the aforementioned Charizard and Robbie Sinclair slammed together. Murdered both those birds.
Whitebeak. Yeah, the boys. No, Al, I'd prefer that race just get refunded, to be honest. I've been in it.